Hey guys, thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. I am very excited to share this Tantouring tutorial with you guys. It's a little bit of a mouthful.
Tantouring tutorial.
Fun little fact, my puppy Sweetie, I was picking her up the other day and she scratched my lip. And so, long story short, it kind of looks gross. So I'm wearing lip gloss to kind of hide it. So if you clicked on this video, many of you might be wondering, like, what in the world is Tantouring? Tantouring is a contouring technique that allows you to semi-permanently add dimension to your face by using a self-tanner. And if you do it correctly, it can last up to 2 weeks. This is my first time today trying it out, and I am a little nervous, I'm not gonna lie. I've been watching tons of tutorials online, and so I think I can break it down for you guys, and hopefully we can do this right. Let's do this. So obviously the first step is you want to make sure that your face is completely washed, as well as applying a kind of like a prep serum. So we're going to be using L'Oreal Sublime Bronze. This is their self-tanning serum, and I put this on about an hour ago before sitting down and doing this tutorial. It's a gradual tan, so obviously you're not going to see it instantly, but I like to put this on kind of as a base to get the tinted self-tanner ready for the Tantouring. The next thing that you're going to do is you're going to Tantour. It's also from L'Oreal Paris, and this is their Sublime Bronze Tinted Self-Tanning Lotion, and it's in the deep shade. I obviously kind of have an olivey medium skin tone. You want to get a shade that's a couple of shades darker than your normal skin tone. So that's what I did with this, is I got the deep shade. Now when you see me, you can tell, you can't really see any contoured effect, right? But when I second my cheeks and smile, you can kind of see where those lines would naturally be. So I'm just gonna trace over those lines. So now that I have the product on the brush, I'm going to Tantour. And then I'm just going to second my cheeks and smile. I think the best way to go is with a light hand. I'm just going over the line and I'm just adding a little bit more product. It's totally optional, you don't have to do this, but I'm just gonna go over the line that I just created with the makeup brush with my finger. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the nose area while that's drying. You can use the same brush if you want, or a smaller brush. This is like a flat angled brush, and I'm going to then apply that same product, the self-tanning lotion. You really have to be careful because this is like in the center of your face and you don't want it to look uneven. So I'm gonna start right here underneath my eyebrow and just work my way down. I'm gonna keep it very light in my nose area just because, like I said, it is at the center of your face and you don't want to have a crazy looking nose for the next week and a half. Create a little bit of a line here. And I'm going to apply the product directly onto the Beauty Blender brush, and I'm just going to kind of Tantour my jawline area and my neck. I prefer using a Beauty Blender because you can kind of really mix it in and make it look more natural. And then last but not least, I'm just going to add a little bit of definedness on my neck. I'm just going to grab the Beauty Blender and just apply the product in that area of my forehead, just so that it matches here. So something that I don't recommend, which I just learned right now, is you do not want to go and put your fingerprints all over it once you've let it sit. So I'm gonna go back and kind of fix that up a little bit. Okay, so after I've applied my self-tanner to the desired areas of my face, I'm just going to let it sit for an hour. And an hour is usually going to give you a light contoured look. If you let it sit for 2 hours, you're gonna get a medium contoured look. And then if you let it sit for 3 hours, you're gonna get a deep tan. I know you're thinking, oh Lord, this looks really, really crazy, like a disaster. But I just know from the tutorials that I watched online, you're really supposed to put the product and focus it in a specific area. And then once you rinse it off, obviously it's not gonna look like this. So just keep that in mind. This is really the area that I want to define. So I put more of the self-tanner in this area. But as you can see, like my jawline and my forehead, I kept it pretty light. So I don't even know how that's gonna look once I rinse my face off. I'm a little bit nervous, I'm not gonna lie, but I am really excited to see if this is really gonna work. Okay, so I'm back. It's been an hour later, and I'm not gonna lie, I am super surprised that it actually worked. You can see that I still have kind of like this natural contour finish. I do feel like there's just a little patch right here that's a little bit darker on this side than in this side, but I'm not too worried about it because usually my hair covers that anyway. As I'm talking, you can see this contoured look. I was totally worried about like it looking too harsh and overdone. I was able to do it with a self tanner so that it's going to hopefully last me about a week and a half to 2 weeks. Okay, so real quick, just to show you guys, I'm gonna be using Neutrogena's Mineral Shears Powder. This is obviously a pressed powder. I don't usually use this for foundation, but to really highlight and show that contour, I'm just gonna keep it very simple. So now for concealer, I'm using Maybelline's Master Conceal, and I'm just applying it underneath my eyes and around my nose and any blemished areas, followed by a little blending action with the Beauty Blender. And then to finish it off, I'm just using that same lip gloss I used. Well, there you have it, a quick and easy summer tutorial. I love that you can still see the Tantour right here. I didn't add any bronzer or anything like that. This is what we created with the self tanner. That's pretty crazy. If you're still a little bit hesitant and you don't know if this is something that you feel like you can achieve at home, research and find some other videos, and I think once you kind of watch a few, you start to feel like, okay, I can do this. I knew that this was my first try and it wasn't going to be perfect, hence the heavy hand area on this side. But for the most part, I've learned so much, and I feel like going into it again, I kind of know what areas to target and specifically what I can do to better the technique. And since it's almost summer, I'm gonna add just a little bit of a glow. I'm using Urban Decay's Afterglow Highlighter. This is in shade Sin. And I'm just going to dab my finger directly on the product and just apply it above my cheekbones. I feel like this really complements the tantoured look and makes it look super glowy. A little bit on my nose. I've got to go, but until next time, mwah, mwah. Bye!